Okay, and we are live. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Slightly later start time tonight, but thank you very much for joining in with us. So, plenty to go through on tonight's show. First and foremost, let's get talking about the next potential signing for Manchester United. We know already that Rasmus Hojlund is a Manchester United player. Medical was complete today. Everything is done. That is no concern. Let's get talking about Sofayn Amrabat then. This is where we're heading next in the transfer window. So, first and foremost, coming from Fabrizio Romano himself, Sofayn Amrabat is really attracted by the possibility of working with Erik ten Hag again. He really wants to join Manchester United. Sofayn Amrabat has already rejected very important financial approaches from Saudi Arabia because he wants to wait for Manchester United. And coming from Alex Kirk as well, sources close to Sofayn Amrabat says he only has eyes for Manchester United. So this guy really wants to come. Now, in order for him to come, we need to sell. We need to sell at least one midfielder. So that's what we're asking you guys on the poll tonight. So we're looking at three players who have been linked with moves away from Manchester United playing in that midfield area. We're looking at Fred, we're looking at Donny, we're looking at McTominay. So who would you guys rather sell? Let me know in that poll. Get voting on that one as well. Who we got in the comments? Stephanie's down there. Good to see you. Lucky Singh is saying Donny van de Beek, we need offers around 22 million. I think we should be looking for less. I don't think he's worth that much. Ashid, good to see you, man. Yes, it is an 8 p.m. show tonight. Unfortunately, I did get held up. I was getting my hair cut earlier, and then I didn't get out of town for about half an hour, so it was a bit of a disaster. But we're here. We are live nonetheless. So 8 p.m. show tonight. I'm So Fresh says, love the show. McTominay, a decent player for someone like a West Ham. Fred is good backup for most, and Donny doesn't seem to have the potential we once thought. I don't think he does. Look, I don't mind Donny van de Beek as a player. I really don't. I think he's quite a good player. There's no doubting his ability. There's no doubting that he could be a good player for United. His problem is we don't play the style of football. We don't have the personnel in there to get the best out of him. Van de Beek needs a possession-based team. Manchester United, we're not really a possession-based team at the moment. And then even when we become one, hopefully this season, he's going to be behind Eriksen, he's going to be behind Mount, he's going to be behind Bruno Fernandes. I think it makes all the sense in the world to sell Van de Beek. And I would say that as well for the other players listed. McTominay, I don't think he's going to get a look in. I really don't. Not ahead of Sofayn Amrabat, should we sign him. He's not getting in ahead of Casemiro. When Kobbie Mainoo comes back, he will likely be in that kind of position as well. So I don't think there's a future for any of those three midfielders. And that's a big positive for me because the midfield has been weak for a long time, in my opinion. And going from having Fred, McTominay, Van de Beek as your backup options to having the starters of Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro, then looking at the bench, looking at Eriksen, looking at Sofayn Amrabat, Kobbie Mainoo, that is a massive upgrade, guys. It really is. Lucky Singh says they're all average players and they should have been kicked out, and we need to sell all three. I would agree. I think we really could and should be selling all three of those players. I really don't see any real long-term future for any of those guys. I think if I had to keep one, it's going to be Fred. I think Fred gives us an athleticism, a work rate that maybe we don't otherwise have. But I can totally see the sense in upgrading him. I totally believe that we can upgrade on Fred. So, look, it's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be interesting to see what Erik ten Hag chooses to do in that regard. I hope that we make the right decision. I hope we sell at least one of them and bring in Sofayn Amrabat, because that's the upgrade we need, guys. I'm So Fresh says definitely been upgraded so far this window. I would say so as well. I think we've really upgraded across the board. I think Hojlund will be an upgrade on Anthony Martial, Onana an upgrade on David De Gea, and Amrabat will be a big upgrade on McTominay and Fred and the like. So it's been 3 or 4 really top level signings coming in who are going to improve this team. So I'm very happy with that, guys. I really am. Any more thoughts? Make sure to get them in down below and get the votes in on the poll. How much we got? We got 17 votes already. So at the moment, it's very evenly split. We have 28% are going to sell Fred first. That I expected. I know Fred's quite popular. I think that's a fair enough estimation. Then we have Van de Beek on 33 and McTominay on 39. So people want to see McTominay sold. I think it's a smart move. I really do. I would love to see Scott McTominay sold. And look, it's not that he's a bad player. It's not that I don't like him as a guy. I think he works hard for this team. He brings a lot to the table in terms of his work rate, the physicality. What he doesn't bring is anywhere near enough is the technical level. We really struggle with McTominay on the pitch. We don't get the forward passes. We don't get the tempo setting. We don't get what we want from that position. And we want to do better at Manchester United. We can do better, and I think we will be doing better. But in terms of other players going out, I want to talk about this one because there is some momentum gathering, and I think it's a good move. I really do. So this is Hannibal Mejbri is potentially going to go on loan to Luton Town. So Manchester United today have accepted a proposal from Luton to have Hannibal Mejbri on loan. I think that's really, really good. I think the natural evolution of Mejbri, and I'm sure it would have been the same for Amad Diallo, had he not picked up this injury, was to make a step and have what I would call a Premier League loan. We've had the Championship last year. Both players played over 40 matches, really improved across the board. So bringing in and a loan spell, top 5 football, that's really going to test him. He will play at Luton Town. I hope he takes up that offer. I think it's a really, really good opportunity for him. And whether he makes it at United, whether he doesn't make it at United, to have a full season playing Premier League football under his belt at his age, that's only going to help his value. It's only going to help him as a player. And I'm a massive fan of loan moves. I can't help it, guys. I really can't. I'm So Fresh says, are we going to have any worry about homegrown players eventually? Good news for Hannibal. He did well last year at Birmingham. It's a good question. In terms of the homegrown, I guess we probably have enough. What we're looking at, Kobbie Mainoo, Marcus Rashford will be in there. In terms of other players coming through, there is going to be the likes of Alejandro Garnacho in there. So we're probably well enough stacked in that regard. And I don't know if it's exclusively to do with Manchester United youth players, because if it's just general English players, then we're fine in that regards as well. We've got Sancho, we've got Luke Shaw, we have Marcus Rashford in there. Harry Maguire will be part of the squad next year as well. So we're probably well enough stacked in that regards. I'm feeling confident on it, guys. I don't think it's going to be an issue. If I thought it was an issue, and it's not to have a go at anyone in the comments, but we probably would have seen it in the press as well. So that's what I'm thinking. Stephanie says, if all three go, Amrabat, Gore and Mainoo, good cover, but would like Caicedo as well, being greedy, but I want strength in the midfield. Yeah, look, Moses Caicedo would be brilliant. Make no mistake about it. I think he comes and starts. I really do think we work him into this team. I don't think we're going to have the budget for it. I really don't. But we could have had Caicedo several years ago, but we didn't pull the trigger on it. Hot Fuzz is down there. Big ups to you, man, for joining in. Thanks very much for that one, man. As well, I did see you were live earlier, but I was getting my haircut, so I will check that out after as well. Just for anybody in the chat, if you haven't already, check out Hot Fuzz. Really, really top level guy, great supporter of the channel, and he runs his own channel as well, so check it out, guys. Greg is saying that loan will be great for Hannibal. He will be in the Premier League and play a lot of football. Hannibal is another one. Plenty of potential. Playing regular is the key way to improve. I couldn't agree any more with you, Greg. I really couldn't. I've been saying it for a while. And I said the same for Amad Diallo. I've said the same for Facundo Pellistri. I know we like the players and I know we want them to do well at United, but I think we have to be realistic. If we want these players to really achieve their potential, a loan spell might be the best move for them, if it's going to give them the football needed. Now, do we see Pellistri go out on loan? I think we do. I think he will go on loan. I would have had him out, but it's not going to happen. He has picked up an injury, so that is some news to bring you guys as well. So in terms of Amad Diallo, he's going to stay at Manchester United this summer. He has suffered a knee injury, and that has ruled out a potential loan move for now. He will miss at least the first part of the Premier League season, so that's probably going to be something similar to Kobbie Mainoo. It's going to be the first 2 to 3 months. It's unfortunate, but it gives him a chance to come back and work every week with Erik ten Hag, and maybe he can contribute to this team in the latter part of the year when we're heading into that very busy Christmas period. Maybe Amad Diallo can feature for Manchester United. I hope he does. Let me see. Big T saying Brighton believe Caicedo will stay with them beyond the summer transfer window. Yeah, it looks like Caicedo wants to leave. He has made this abundantly clear. He wanted to go to Arsenal in the first place. He even put in a written transfer request. Now he wants to go to Chelsea. He does want to leave Brighton, but clearly they value him at a high amount. They want that money for Moses Caicedo. I don't blame them. I really don't. When you see Declan Rice going for £105 million, I don't believe Moses Caicedo is any less of a player than Declan Rice. And he's younger as well. So I think that will count for something. I think Brighton's realistically going to look for 80 to 90 million on him. I don't know. I think it's a good move. He's a top level player, and I think Brighton are well within their rights to hold out for a lot of money in that regard. Let me see who else we got down here. Lucky Singh is saying Luke Shaw calling defenders at United. Yeah, look, it's good. That's what we need to be doing. We want to see players having a go at each other. We want to see some leadership on that pitch. So see, when I see people complaining about Onana going through Harry Maguire, no problem whatsoever with that. I want to see my players go at each other if it comes down to it, and that's how you hold the standards. You need to be there and hold each other to account. We can't just shake the heads. It needs to be, if it's going to be a vocal barrage, if it's going to be shouting, so be it. That's the way I stand on it, guys. So 26 votes on the poll so far, and at the moment, 23% of you guys are saying sell Fred first. Then we have Donny van de Beek, and we have McTominay. So Van de Beek 35% and Scott McTominay on 42%. The clear favourite to be sold from the United philosophy faithful, it's Scott McTominay. That is what we're going for, and it does look like he is the least likely to be sold out of all those players. I don't think we're going to sell McTominay in this window, unfortunately, guys. So in terms of those players leaving, we have this coming in from Fabrizio Romano today. So Fred will not be joining Galatasaray. Other clubs are keen on him. So Galatasaray, they've been in for Fred. They've put a couple of small bids, 5, 6, 7 million pounds in. Like, get out of here. He is a better player than that. United should be looking more than that amount for Fred. We should be looking around 15 to 20 million, in my opinion. Now, whether we get that or not, it's all going to depend. Look, the clubs will look at this in the realistic sense. Fred, he's 30 years old, 1 year left on his contract. It's only getting less and less time until that contract expires. So it's weakening United's hands. So hopefully we get a move sorted soon. Hopefully we can move Fred on, because clearly we need to sell some of these players to bring in Sofayn Amrabat. And if you're offering me Sofayn Amrabat and selling Fred, Donny, McTominay, I'm taking Sofayn Amrabat every day of the week, because I think it's better to have one really good player than 3 players who are not good enough. That's my opinion. Lucky Singh is saying, I love Luke Shaw, the mindset of improving defenders. Yeah, look, that's good. We need that. We need accountability on the pitch, and that's only going to help Manchester United. It really, really is, guys. Stephanie as well is saying, just a recap on Amrabat signing. We have to sell Fred, Donny, Scott, Maguire, and Hendo. I don't think so. I think we need to sell at least one midfielder. That seems to be the common consensus. So I think it's going to be probably going to be Fred, but we do have an update coming in from Simon Jones of the Daily Mail. So it's an interesting one. So this kind of alluded to the fact that the Galatasaray deal for Fred, it's collapsing. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. But he has said Van de Beek to Real Sociedad is more advanced than Fred's potential move to Galatasaray. So I'm hoping that Real Sociedad will come in and buy Donny van de Beek. I don't see a way forward for him at the club. I don't think it's going to work out. And look, I said it last year. I hadn't even got the channel up and running at that point. But we did say, the thing is with Donny van de Beek, if Erik ten Hag cannot make a player out of him, nobody is. Because Ten Hag's the guy who met him in the first place. Ten Hag is the guy who brought him into the Ajax team where he started to shine. That's going to be the big thing. Greg is saying, out of Fred, McTominay and Van de Beek, Fred is by far the best impact sub. Even when we bring on Fred, the drop in quality is a lot. I do agree. I do agree with that. There is a drop in quality, and that means that Erik ten Hag is reluctant to rotate. Because if he needs Casemiro, Bruno and Mount on the pitch to win a match, that's not good, because that means we're going to overplay those players. We've seen it last year. We don't want to see it again. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. What are we up to? 13 likes. So yeah, guys, drop a couple likes. Can we get up to 20 within the next 10 minutes or so? That could be very, very much appreciated. From you guys, big ups to everyone for joining in. So here's a point that I'm not too happy about, and I don't think I believe it all too well. So Erik ten Hag has told Harry Maguire he's content with him staying at the club. Now, I want to talk about this, guys. I wanted to get talking about this Harry Maguire situation. First and foremost, if Erik ten Hag was content with Harry Maguire staying at Manchester United, would he have dropped him last season? Would he have took the captain's armband off him in this season? I don't think he would have. I really, really struggle to believe that he would have done that. The message we have sent to Harry Maguire, everything Eric Ten Hag has done, is you're not going to be my first choice. You're not going to be a player playing for us. I'm taking the captain's armband off you, and I'm not going to have you in my first team. So this has to be coming from club sources, or it's coming from Harry Maguire. Now, look, there has been many stories put out. A lot of people saying, of course, the thing is with Maguire, he doesn't want to leave. That's concerning for me because we wanted a centre back in this window. We wanted one of Kim Min-jae, Axel Diazy, or Jean-Claire Todibo. Those were the three targets for that centre back position put out there. And Kim Min-jae's gone to Bayern Munich. Diazy's gone to Chelsea. It looks like Todibo is going to go to Juventus. So that is three first choice targets Eric Ten Hag himself went to this board with and said, sell Maguire, get me one of these players. And we haven't done it. So even if we sell Maguire, I wouldn't back us bringing a centre back in. Who else have we got down here? Let me see. Sean is saying, Mitten saying on off the ball, Eric Ten Hag giving McTominay the captaincy ahead of Maguire the other day was to send a message to both players. McTominay wants McTominay, doesn't want Slab. I don't know, man. I hope we sell McTominay. I really do, because I've said it before. This is a guy who is marketable. He is an asset. He is worth money. We should be selling him because he's 26 now. This is the time you sell. We could sell him for £30 million and make a big upgrade in the squad. We really, really could. Nelbus is saying if McTominay, Fred, and Donny Maguire is about 100 KK. I think I might be 100 million. I'm so fresh says Galatasaray are a last day transfer business kind of club. Wouldn't worry too much about the Fred deal. I think it's more realistic that he goes somewhere else now. I really do. I think that's going to be where this deal goes. Stephanie says next step would be dropping Maguire to the reserves to force him out. I mean, we might do. I don't know if we go that far with it, but I think one thing we can say, and the biggest indicator as to what will get rid of Harry Maguire at Manchester United, and it comes down to one thing, it comes down to that England spot. Because it is clear and obvious that Harry Maguire, he only wants to play for England. Playing for England is his thing. That's what he wants. My big thing with that, and it's very simply put, guys, is Gareth Southgate picks him regardless of whether he plays or not. Doesn't matter if he plays good, plays bad, or does not play. Gareth Southgate will play him. So I think until that day where Maguire doesn't make an England squad, where he is told you have to play football in order to be in this squad, I don't think he's going to have any ambition to go. And look, he can point a finger. He can say the exact same thing about Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips played 2 or 3 Premier League matches last year, and he was in every England squad. He started a lot of matches for England. So that's part of my concern with this one. Lucky is saying, Stephanie, it's crazy the way things are. And Nelbus is saying we had to send Kim Min-jae. I regret we didn't sign him. He's a quality player. Look, Kim Min-jae and Lisandro Martinez would have been a cheat code in terms of playing out at the back. And if you put Andre Onana behind them, that would have been one of the best defenses maybe in world football. It genuinely would, because they're all that good. Let me see. Mark is saying, love you from Uganda. Big ups, man. And thank you very much for joining in with us. So I really love this so much, because it's a small channel. We've only got like 1.7k subs. It's not a lot. We've only got 240 people on here on the stream across the entire 20 minutes, but there are people from all over the world tuning in to watch me, and I'm so appreciative of it. So thank you so much, guys, for all the support. It really does mean a lot. So yeah, I want to get a check at some other stuff going on here. So we have an interesting update coming in from Ben Jacobs. We're talking takeover here. So all 6 glazers remain determined sellers for the right price. It's just said the right price is where the disagreements are on. That's an interesting one. That's coming in from Ben Jacobs. Now, sometimes he's popular, sometimes he's not. I feel like his popularity kind of increases and decreases with the sale talk. But if he's saying that, I would be inclined to believe it. I would. I still think we're up for sale. I think they're trying to get every last penny out of it. I really do. Now, was saying, do you prefer Lissandro or Varane? Look, I love both players. I think they're really, really good together. I think if I had to pick one, might be controversial, but I'm going to go for Lisandro Martinez. I just think he is everything I want in a centre back. Not that Varane isn't. I think Varane, the only thing that counts against him is age and the injuries. But they are two brilliant centre backs. They really, really are. Fred is going out, says Mark. Yes, he is. He will be leaving. Jarda saying Fred deal collapsing. I don't know if we're selling him this season. After all, we have to sell him because his contract expires in 1 year's time. I think we already have activated the extension clause, so we need to sell Fred in this summer transfer window. So important that we do. Lucky says, I'm from the UK. Yeah, big ups, man. Thanks very much as well. Look, there are people from UK, Ireland, people from my local area. There are people from Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and we have people from Bangladesh and Jamaica. So big ups to all you guys. Big up to everyone for joining in. But yeah, look, getting talking about this Glazer to Seal talk. Yesterday wasn't a particularly positive day. There was stuff put out. It looked like maybe we're going to see a delay in the takeover. Then we've Mike Keegan saying, no, it's still going on. We have Ben Jacobs then saying, yeah, it's still going on, but it's very, very slow. There's a lot of technicalities. I don't know. I just hope it gets moving. I really, really do. And I'm sure you guys want to see it as well. Big T says, out of interest, how come we can judge Onana on preseason performance to say he's good, but we can't judge players in preseason to say we're bad? I don't think it is a case of that. I think the thing is a preseason, we have players building up their fitness. We have players. Some people are really good in preseason. Some people are really bad. It's just kind of the way it is. If we are to say Onana is really good, I think the only things we have to look at that is not going to change is the distribution and shot stopping. That's the thing. You know, a shot is a shot, whether it's from a preseason match or it's Champions League final. He's still passing with the same ball to the same player. So I think it's all good. I do. I really think Onana is going to be a big hit. And look, to answer that question, I know it's hard to judge in preseason. It really, really is. But what I can say is the fundamentals are there. The system looks to be there. So once it gets fully in click, once everyone's fully used to it, I think it's going to be a much better setup. But yeah, we really do need Amrabat. Jarlath and Ben Jacobs, I listened to some of what he had to say today. A suggestion is that the sale will not happen until next summer because that's when takeover normally happens. I don't know, man. I really hope it comes quicker than that. I seriously do. I don't want to be sitting here talking takeover this time next year. So we want to see it go quickly. Let me see. We need another defender, midfield, and a striker. Yeah, look, I'm not going to disagree with that. I think we need a centre back. I think we need a right back, another striking option, and a deeper midfielder. So I think Amrabat answers that. I would like to see Taremi brought in, experienced striker, and then we kind of fix out that centre back, right back position next year. Greg saying, I would pick Martinez as first choice centre back all the day. He's got all the traits of a nasty old fashioned type centre back with all the footballing qualities, always gives 100%, a true Man United player. Yeah, he is. He really, really is something special, Lisandro Martinez. And honestly, I think he might be one of, if not my favourite United players at the minute. I love watching the guy play. I think he's so good on the ball. I think the tenacity's there. He is aggressive. Stephanie says pre-season about building up fitness, sharpness and confidence. Yeah, look, there's bits of that in there as well. That always does go a long way. And ultimately, guys, yeah, the results don't matter in pre-season. I think what does matter is looking at fitness, looking at how the team's shaping up and how it's going to go. Stella's down there. Hope you're having a good day. The board, especially Murda and Arnold, are lagging behind. Can't sell a bottle of water if they had to. No, they can't. They really can't. And it is a concern for me. We've been told all summer, sales, so important. Sales will be key in this window. But we've only really sold Alex Telles and Anthony Elanga. And that's about it, guys. You know, Alvaro Fernandez should stay too. I think it all depends on match time. I really do. I wouldn't be against him having a loan spell. I wouldn't be against him going to a Premier League loan. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. Stephanie says Leitze, the unofficial captain. Look, Leitze will be a captain of United if he chooses to stay, in my opinion. He's got all the attributes, all the quality. He has everything needed, and he would be a hell of a captain. He really, really would. I really love watching the guy play as well. I just can't help it. Lisandro Martinez might be my favorite United player at the minute. And look, that's just the way it is, guys. So, a quote coming in from Marcus Rashford on Erik ten Hag. So he has said, when Erik ten Hag came in, I didn't hear him speak about getting top four. He just wanted to win trophies. He says it doesn't matter what we're playing in. We have to try to win everything. I think that's important. I do think that's important. But I want to see us push on more. I want to see us really push for those trophies this season. Big T says, does professional athlete lose fitness if he goes on a summer holiday? If you're fit, you're fit, I think. Look, there's aspects of it. Make no mistake about it. Some people come back in better shape than others. Wayne Rooney was famous for turning up looking a little bit like he'd enjoyed himself too much on holidays. Yes, you will be fit, but the level of fitness to get to Premier League level fitness, it is immense. It really, really is. So, look, these players need rest. Their body needs the rest. Their minds need the rest. But I still think it's about building up the fitness. It's about building up the style on the pitch. Andrew, hello to you as well, man. Sella is saying, I want Leisure to be captain. I don't think it was his time, but I do think he might be the next one. Andrew says, your pin poll, I would sell all three. Love it, man. Absolutely love it. Speaking of the poll, 50 votes on it so far. So Fred, 22%. Most of you guys are choosing to keep Fred out of all of those players. Then we've got Van de Beek, 31. And almost 50% of you guys, so 47%, are saying sell Scott McTominay. The one player who doesn't look like he's going to be sold from that list. So it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one, guys. It really, really is. Let me see what else have I got here on this stuff. So, quick update coming in on Rasmus Hojlund. So, look, we've been waiting for this for a while. We really have been waiting for this deal to go through for a very long time, guys. So Rasmus Hojlund has completed his medical. United have put the finishing touches to his contract and the transfer. United are now waiting to finalise visa and contract. So, it's taken a while longer than what we wanted. It really has. But I wanted to see this done quicker. I really do. And look, part of that's me being selfish because I know I'm going to the mats on Sunday and I want to see him play. But I would like this done quicker because we want to get him into training. That's the whole point of bringing players in early doors. You know, it really is. So if he doesn't get signed and isn't training and playing in those matches at the weekend, probably doesn't play against what do you call it? It probably doesn't play against Wolves on next Monday. So, Big T says, Hojlund has a brother who plays football. Should we sign him? I actually think he's got two brothers as well. So maybe we sign both of them. Let's find out on that one. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. As Stephanie's pointed out, we're up to 22 likes. Can we hit 30 now? Well, we got 72 people in here. Drop a like on the video, guys. Would be much appreciated as always. So, I want to get talking about a couple of other things on tonight's show. But first, let's go through some of these comments. Andrew says Rasmus shirt's gonna sell watching Saturday. How far with Van de Beek? In terms of Donny Van de Beek, we only have one real update coming in today. That's fresh, and that is coming in from Simon Jones of the Daily Mail. Now he has said that if you compare the deal for Fred to leave to Van de Beek, the Van de Beek deal to Real Sociedad, it is much, much more advanced. So where does that ultimately leave us in the grand scheme of things? I'm not 100% sure. I would love to see us sell Van de Beek. I know we're looking a lot of money. We're looking 25 million. I don't think we get anywhere close to that. I really don't. But I think we can realistically look at, what, like 15 million? I think that's a fair valuation for a guy who's come in. His career really hasn't got going at Manchester United. It is another flop. It is another bad bit of business. But I think we need to take what we can get. And look, I get we want to make back money. And if we manage to sell him for 25, that's brilliant. But I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. Andrew says Denmark gone crazy over his signings, so shirts are going to sell in Denmark. Yeah, they definitely will. They definitely will. So let me just have another double check. There was some quotes there I was looking at. Obviously, we had that Rashford one and Erik ten Hag. Kyle Lacey, good to see you, man. Thing is, with Donny, he has done nothing with his United career. No, he really hasn't. And that is the concern. That is my thing with Donny van de Beek. Let me see. So coming in from Fabrizio Romano exactly 1 minute ago, Rasmus Hojlund has now signed his 5-year contract with an option for a further year as a new Manchester United player. Done, deal, sealed. So there we go, guys. That is some brand new news for you guys as well. Rasmus Hojlund has signed the contract at Manchester United. Medical done. Can we get an announcement? Can we get him announced at 9 o'clock tonight? Let's find out. I hope we do. I could do with an announcement. You guys could do with an announcement. Let's see it done. So Hojlund, he's a United player now. Let's just see when this announcement comes. I'm excited. Stephanie says January transfer window could be very important. It could. And I'm going to put this out here. I'm going to throw this out into the universe. And I've been saying it for a while, guys. Fundamentally, if the Qataris come in, if it's Radcliffe come in, they're going to want to spend money. They will want to do it. All owners come in, they spend money. What I want to see happen is a United seal by the end of 2023. And from there, hopefully we can invest in this January transfer window. If it's the Qataris, they're going to spend. If it's Radcliffe, he'll probably spend. Let's see us going by some other players that we need to bring in. Let me see. Big T says, regardless of whether you understand why or not, would you be disappointed if the Wolves game gets called off due to the hooligans? I'm itching for the season to start. Yeah, look, there'll be elements of it. I'm excited to see United back in action. If something like that happens, then I would absolutely support it. If it is about a protest, what I don't think it will happen, and the reason why it happened the first time was there was the COVID restrictions. It was an empty stadium, I believe. And what United did, what the 58 did, there was two protests. There's a protest outside the Lorry Hotel, and there's a protest outside of Old Trafford. The one at the Lorry sort of kicked off earlier. The police attention went there, and then the guys at Manchester United made it onto the pitch. It would be a big statement to make. It would be a big massive bit of publicity for the cause if it happens. Stephanie says the Viking has arrived, and Isam is saying as well, Fred must stay. He's a fighter and only has to work harder. Look, he absolutely is a fighter. I would not be against Fred staying at Manchester United. I really wouldn't, guys. I think he's a really good player. I think he can offer something to this team, but maybe it makes more sense to sell him if we're bringing in Sofayn Amrabat. If we sell Fred and don't get Amrabat, then that's just weakening the squad for the sake of balancing the books, and that's what I don't want to see, guys. I really don't want to see that. Andrew says, Donny doesn't hold the ball. He passes one touch and gives it away. He has no confidence to hold the ball. What kind of midfielder is he? And whether he faces play or back, Donny is one touch pass. Yeah, look, Van de Beek is a player who was brought in by Solskjaer, who did not know how to use him. And Erik ten Hag doesn't have the team to get what he wants out of Donny van de Beek to make it worthwhile. Van de Beek is an interesting player. He excels in teams that have possession, but he does not contribute to holding possession. So he isn't going to go chase the ball down, put in the tackles, and win the ball. When he gets the ball, he can do things with it, but United don't really hold the ball around the opposition's penalty box, where Van de Beek can be effective with one-touch passes that moves him behind. I think it's time to move him on. I really do. I would say out of the three players listed on the poll, and for anybody who hasn't voted, make sure you get the votes in on the poll. I asked you guys, who would you rather sell? The options are Fred, McTominay, or Van de Beek. If we were going to go through those in order of my preference, my first sale would probably be Van de Beek. Then I'm going McTominay, then I'm going Fred. You can put McTominay and Van de Beek whatever order you want, but I think most people would agree that Fred would be the one you would keep out of those three players. I think that's a fair enough assumption to make. Stephanie says Fred has got to have Brazilian combo with Casemiro and Anthony. Yeah, look, Fred, he's an interesting player, but he definitely adds to this team. If we sell him and bring in Amrabat, that's a massive upgrade. Paul Jigma is saying sell all of them. I think that's what we should do. I do think that's what we should do. And I think there's better players out there. I think Sofayn Amrabat comes in. He does what Fred and McTominay do. He does what Van de Beek doesn't do, and he makes us a better team. Drop a like on the video, guys. We're up to 26 now. Can we get up to 30 likes on this stream? Would be massively appreciated if it happens. Lucky Singh is saying none of these American players know how to run football club, FSG as well. No, they don't. And there's always been a drive from the Glazer family, always been a drive from American ownership to try make an Americanized version of football with the Super League, without the relegations, where you're basically guaranteed money without actually without actually having to win anything. And look, it's the exact same thing in American sports. I don't know if you guys watch much of them, but some of it is so ridiculous. The worst placed teams, there's no relegation. They get first draft picked. So they managed to go and get some of the best young players coming through just because they were bad. Like, that's the sort of system those guys are looking for. Big T says, we will miss Fred when he's gone. I think so as well. I think Amrabat's an improvement, but I do think that Fred would be one of those players who I might hold on to. Irfan says, hi, can United go for a world-class player? I think we've got a couple, man. I do. I think within the team, there's certainly a couple of world-class players. I don't think we need to go and sign massive names. I really don't. And I want to see players brought in for the system. I want to see players brought in to fit the team, because we've been there, done that. We've kind of brought in loads of big players over the years. Di Maria's, the Falcaos, the Pogba's, even the Ibrahimovic's, the Cavani's, even Ronaldo didn't work out. Alexis Sanchez. What United need is players who are going to fit the system, and that's just going to help us so much better. It really is. And I know it's not good for the sport. It's not the same sport that we all knew growing up, but a lot of individualism has been killed in football, and it's been replaced by systems built by managers. Rightly or wrongly, that's the way the sport has gone. So I think I would rather have players who are going to make the team better. Andrew says, Fred is an engine player, but his passing and mistakes are costly. Yeah, they are. The thing is with Fred, the further up the pitch he plays, the better. And that just means, really, that he is up there winning the ball high. He is up there out of harm's way. If Fred loses the ball halfway inside the opposition's half, if he loses it on the edge of their penalty box, it's not going to cost us a goal. But when Fred plays deep, when Fred plays in and around our penalty box, if he loses the ball, could be a goal. It really could. Lucky Singh says, use money on the wrong places. We have done that. I'm so fresh said, wouldn't worry about Brady. He wouldn't be bothered about investing hundreds of millions into a team. No, he's not. He's just coming in as a face of a consortium, I think. Stephanie says, Fred plays better without McTominay. Lindelof plays better without Maguire. Sell M&M. That's a nice way to put it. It is a nice way to put it. I would absolutely sell both those players. And I don't think we're any worse off for it. I really don't. And I'm going to throw one out to you guys as well, because it's a later time that we've been streaming, so there's probably different people on. What is everyone's thoughts on Johnny Evans coming back to Manchester United? Let me know your thoughts down below, because yes, I mean, I don't mind it. I really don't. I think he is a good, experienced option who's going to help fill out the squad. Is this another symptom of Glazernomics? Is this another symptom of Manchester United being a badly run team? Let me know your thoughts down below on that one. I think there's good and bads with it. I think it still points that we are badly run as an organisation. I really do. Let me see. Update coming in from Fabrizio Romano. So here's one for you guys. More on Rasmus Hojlund contract signed a few minutes ago. Manchester United plan to unveil the Danish striker as a new player at Old Trafford before the Lens game. So I don't know why we're not just doing it now and trying to get him on the pitch for that match, but he's clearly not going to be playing on Saturday. So let's hope he's playing on Sunday. For my sake and for his sake, let's just see what happens there. Andrew is saying, Erik ten Hag building a proper team to win cups. He's not buying old players to win cups. Erik ten Hag building the right way with the right players for the future. Thank you very much for that. Ronnie says, if I had a choice, it would be for McTominay to go and Fred to stay. Ashid says, he's Irish, he's welcome. Oh man, some people would take offense to that. If you're from Northern Ireland or Ireland, you'll know about it. Nah, you're all good, man. You're all good. It's just good to have an experienced player in there, in my opinion. Irfan says, what's the news on Amad Diallo? So the news on Amad Diallo, first and foremost, he has sustained a knee injury, so he is going to be out for the first part of the season. And that means that he will be staying at Manchester United. So there'll be no loan move in this transfer window for him. Maybe he goes on loan in January. Maybe that could be an option. But he might be in the United team for the rest of the season. He will have a chance to make a real claim at a first team spot. Whether he gets the opportunities to do that on a regular basis, that will depend on Anthony and Sancho, but he will be in and around this first team squad. Andrew says, Evans has the vast experience, but a fitter centre-back, it's nothing to do with flip-overs. Yeah, look, it's the experience. I don't think he's going to play a lot of matches, I really don't. Definitely says, Johnny's like Keegan, just back up when there's an injury crisis and a good character in the dressing room. I would agree with that, I really would. I think that's Probably the best way to put it. If Johnny Evans come in and play a lot of matches, I would be concerned, but I don't think it's going to happen. Amad Diallo, Kobe Minu, we will need them in the team. Yeah, look, we're going to have them in the team, but we're not going to have them in for the first part of the season. Drop a like on the video, guys. We're up to 29 likes, just one more away from 30, and that is the target for today. Stephanie says Pellistri could be staying as well. I wouldn't mind it. I really wouldn't. He's really impressed me in this preseason. He really has. I would like to see more of Facundo in this United team. I think he is so direct, and he really brings a lot different that maybe our other wingers don't have. A lot of our wide players, they want to cut in and score goals. Pellistri wants to go outside the man. He wants to make things happen. I do like watching Facundo Pellistri. I really do, guys. In terms of the poll, we had asked you guys, who would you rather sell? Who would you guys sell first? And that is Fred, Donny, and McTominay. So at the moment, 27% are saying to sell Fred. We have 34 going for Donny and 39 going for Scott McTominay. So most of you guys want to see Fred stay at Manchester United out of that list. Quadsworth Carl is saying Hojlund has signed a contract via Fabrizio Romano. He has indeed. 5-year contract with a year's extension as a possibility. No problem at all about that. I would like to see him playing on Saturday. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, and it's not going to happen for many reasons. It's unfortunate. I'm sure Erik ten Hag would love to have him on the pitch. I think that would be better for him and better for us. But if he plays on Sunday, I will be happy. If he can have a good week in training, I would be happy. But there's a real possibility he doesn't start against Wolves on the 14th of August. Bodie on YouTube, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining in. Andrew says, need more youngsters from the academy. They play for the shirt. Yeah, look, they do. I think we've got a couple coming through, but I think the real thing is, if you kind of won a season, making a breakthrough season, I think that's going to be realistic. I think that's what we should be aiming for. So we got Alejandro Garnacho last year. This was probably going to be Kobe Minu's season. Let's hope he can get back up to fitness. Big T says, should Ten Hag go all out in the Champions League this season to make a statement? I think we're going to go out all out in every competition. I really do. Whether it works out well or not, only time can tell. But clearly, Erik ten Hag takes every match seriously. So we're going to find out what happens there. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name, man. But Johnny won the Premier League, so a valuable addition. Yeah, he's some experience, and that's going to help him. It is. Stephanie says, ironically, Donny to 34 and Scott to 39 is percentage of vote. Yeah, it's a funny one, actually. I just noticed that myself there, Stephanie. So yeah, Rasmus Hojlund has signed the contract. He will be unveiled on Saturday at Old Trafford. I don't know how I feel about it. I want to see him playing earlier. I really do. I want to see him in training as much as possible. But look, I had a funny feeling that United were expecting some sort of a kick-up. United were expecting some sort of drama, a protest, something like that at the weekend. So that's kind of where I think they're putting Hojlund out there. In the sense that, yeah, if they bring him out and they wheel him out, maybe it'll stop some Glazers out chance. Not going to happen. Hopefully not. Ronnie says, all I can say about the Irish is the best player ever Manchester United ever had was George Best. True Northern Irishman. One of the best from our wee land. Absolutely, George Best would have been the best player in history, probably, if it wasn't for the drink. Andrew says Ten Hag plays to win, no nonsense, go for everything. Let's see what happens. Irfan says Brantwood, what's the news? There was a report on this. So United were looking at a couple of other centre backs. Jean-Claude Todibo looked to be one. Jared Brantwood seemed to be one. I think there was somebody else on that list. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got it in front of me or anything. I think it's just targets. I don't think we're going to bring in Brantwood. I don't think we're bringing in Todibo. I think, yes, we will want to bring a centre back in, but I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I think it will happen next season, and we're going to spend big on one. What is Stephanie saying? 30 likes. Yes, guys, thank you very much for 30 likes. And if you guys haven't already dropped a like, please consider hitting one. It only takes a second as well. And if you guys are new, please consider hitting that sub button. Join in with this community today. Like, seriously, this is a wonderful community covering Manchester United. Everyone's so friendly. Everyone's always talking in the chat. It is such a good interactive little community we have going here, and it's only going up from here, guys. More content, plenty more to go through. So of course, live tomorrow, big match watch along on Saturday. Looking forward to that one, and a lot a lot of stuff coming up. So make sure to stay tuned, guys. Would be much appreciated. So let me have a check here as well. Gonna look for some of the latest news because it's always good for that. Tony says, please, is Amrabat joining United or not? Please, more light on that. Thanks from Milton. Yeah, so I can give you this about Sofayn Amrabat. So Sofayn Amrabat wants to come to Manchester United. Let me just scroll up to the top of the chat because it was up there from the start. Obviously, all the messages have bursted down. Give me a second. Okay, so according to Fabrizio Romano, first and foremost, Amrabat is really attracted by the possibility of working with Erik ten Hag again. He really wants to join Manchester United. Already this window, Sofayn Amrabat has rejected important financial approaches from Saudi Arabia because he only wants to join Manchester United. Again, coming from Fabrizio, Alex Crook of TalkSport further backed this up. Sources close to the Amrabat deal says the player only has eyes for Manchester United. Big T says, why is the likes on my stream always less than reported in the chat? Am I wrong? I think you just need to go in and go out or something. It kind of depends when you put your like on it. I think it kind of locks it in there. I know Stephanie can always somehow check them as well. Greg is saying, I think United will give a good account of themselves in the Champions League, and if we're lucky being injury free, we can go all the way to the final. Ashid says, percentage incoming for Amrabat. Do you want to give me a percentage? Look, I think at least one of those players go. I do. And from what we've been told in the media, from what we've been told by good reporters, we only seem to have to sell one of those players. I think we sell Fred. I think we sell Van de Beek. So I would be quite confident on Amrabat. We put a lot of work into the deal. We seem to be very, very, very favourable to the player. So if I'm going to give a percentage, I'm going to give it, I don't know, 70%. I'll give it 70%. The moment we sell Fred or Van de Beek, that's probably going to jump up to 85%. And then it's about agreeing a deal with Fiorentina. But until we get those players sold, it doesn't look like we can make that move. Andrew says, Liverpool inquired about Amrabat. Is that true? Now, Sofayn Amrabat was inquired by Liverpool in January. It didn't happen. His agent had a fallout with the club, and they came back in for him in this summer, and it looks like he's turned Liverpool down. So I'm sure that's going to make United fans very, very happy about that as well, if we can say, our new signing just turned down Liverpool. Obviously, signing not done yet. Lots of work to be done on that. A fee needs to be agreed. It doesn't look to be a massive fee, but I'm going to go around 70%. Ronnie says United are one big family. Yeah, they really are. And you guys are absolutely top class. I really appreciate everyone on the stream across the whole channel. I really, really do, guys. Let me just see as well. What else have we got coming in here? Looks like Gonzalo Ramos is going to PSG, but I mean, we knew that was coming. We've got Hojlund. So, for anyone who did miss the Romano update, Rasmus Hojlund has just signed the Manchester United contract. United will unveil him at Old Trafford on Saturday before the match against Lens. That looks like we're going for it, guys. Let me see. Big T says, I don't usually go out unless the stream is finished. That's why. Yeah, I think if you hop in and out, it'll jump up and refresh. I can see on my end there's 35 likes. So guys, can we get to 40 likes? Drop a like on the video if you haven't already. There's 60 people in here. We only need 5 of you guys. Go on, drop a like. But yeah, look, it's been a pretty good day for Manchester United. Getting that Hojlund news, it's felt good because we've been waiting for it for a while. We really have. I'm glad that we've got it. Let's see where it progresses from here. Let's see if we move on. I want to check the notes as well, because I think there was something else we wanted to go through on tonight's show. Let me have a look at this. Have we got... Yeah, so coming in on Harry Maguire. So, David Moyes plans to try one more time with Harry Maguire, despite the player's reluctance to join West Ham. I mean, they're just wasting their time. Clearly, we've been wasting our time trying to get Harry Maguire out as well, because this guy doesn't look to be going. He's reluctant to go to West Ham. He's reluctant to go to players at his level. It's unfortunate, guys. Let me see. I'm so fresh says, top class community and content. Thanks very much, man. Much appreciated. We got a comment coming in from Ura saying as well, is Maguire going to stay? We've actually discovered that there. So Moyes wishes to try one last time with Harry Maguire. There only seems to be interest from West Ham in Maguire. It looks like everybody else is backed out. Now, this is coming from a lot of different reasons. Firstly, Maguire clearly doesn't want to go to the likes of West Ham. He likes playing for Manchester United. He made it a very clear point that he feels a lot of pride playing for this club, which he should do, but that doesn't mean that he should stay. It really doesn't. And Eric Ten Hag has took the captaincy off him. He's dropped him. He has played Luke Shaw ahead of him at centre back. The big thing is, and the reason I suspect Maguire is still here, is Gareth Southgate. If Southgate dropped him from the England squad, Harry Maguire would leave. I firmly believe that. We can see how much he enjoys playing for England. That has been made abundantly clear. I think if he's dropped from that team, he probably will try to push for a move. I think he does. But clearly, with Southgate, Matt's 10 doesn't matter. It really doesn't seem to matter. Stephanie says, Rasmus shirt number. That's an interesting one. So, I think out of the available numbers, 15 might be the most realistic, unless we're looking at like a number in the 20s or something. But I feel like 15 is the lowest number he might wear. Unless maybe we'll give him the number 1 shirt. Maybe that could be something different there as well. Andrew says, what will his number be? Will it be 9? I don't think it's 9 because Martial is still here. Irfan says Maguire has to go. 30 years old, 20 million. It's very good. Yeah, I mean, we could get slightly more, I think, but wages will come into it. Harry Maguire is paid £200,000 per week. This year, because we have Champions League football, I believe it's £250,000 per week. So that's a lot of money. West Ham can't afford it. Let's see if they're going to go big on that one. She says number 15, I'm guessing. I hope so. Ura says, are we giving Evans a contract? And if so, what is your take on him? I think we're going to give him a contract. It looks like we're shaping up for that. In terms of what I think, I don't think he's going to play a lot of matches. I don't. I think he might play 5 to 10 matches across the season. And a lot of that's going to be Carabao Cup in the early rounds against Stevenage United whenever we're playing younger teams. Because look, if you have players like Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton, put them in a team with some younger players, they're going to help them through that match. They will help. The experience will be good for them. So I don't have a problem with it that way. I don't think he's going to play a lot of matches. I think he will be like an emergency option if we got a lot of injuries, a lot of suspensions. Andrew says, here Bob Maguire needs to go for a 1-year course on how not to be a fool. Absolutely love that one, man. Yeah, look, they probably do. That was one of the most embarrassing deals in Manchester United history. And look, Maguire, before he came, he was highly rated, but we spent all summer going after him, and Leicester told us on the first day of the transfer window, £80 million. United sat and haggled and negotiated and got on, and we tried over and over and over and over again just to pay the exact amount Leicester wanted the entire time. Liman, good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping on in here. Stephanie says, let's hope Southgate gets sacked. Yeah, look, that's one I would agree with. Tell you what, I'm going to extend this out to everybody, because I'm not English. I don't support England, but if you guys are English, if you guys follow the England football team, would you guys say sack Southgate? Because he does seem to have a lot of popularity in the media with ex-players. I mean, from the inside looking out, it looks like every big match in a tournament he has come up against, he has bottled. So I would be looking him out if he was my manager. Andrew says they can change the number like Ronaldo did. Martial still here. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Ura says, how would you rate our signings so far in terms of percentages? So I'm not going to count Sofayn Amrabat. We haven't even put a bid in there. If we want to go all in, I think I would put this maybe about a 60%. If we get Amrabat, maybe it's around 70 to 75. It's good, but it could still be better, in my opinion. There's still some pieces that we need. So if we want to put it out of a number, out of a 1 to 10, probably between a 6 and a 7. That's where I'm going to put it, all things considered. But yeah, up to 39 likes, guys. Can we get one more? Get up to 40 within the next couple of minutes. Would be much appreciated, as always, guys. Big ups to yourselves. Yeah, massive support on this channel. I mean, we went live later than normal, had some external things with family and stuff coming in who I haven't seen in a long time. Ikwan is saying, how about no one's talking about Anthony Martial? The lad ain't doing nothing for the team. How come he gets off so easily? I think he gets off easily for a couple of reasons, man. First and foremost, he's never fit. He is never, ever available. So it's hard to miss what isn't there. And I think that's part of the reason. I think he should be sold. I don't think anyone's going to pay the money for him. That's my problem with him. It really is. The guy's on like £200,000 per week. He is going to be a player next year who walks for nothing. United are going to let that contract run down. I already know it. Also, please tell me Mason Greenwood's possibility of staying and playing in the first 11, or if he's going to be loaned. Yeah, so look, we have one thing coming through on Mason Greenwood. So this was from yesterday. I'm sure you guys have seen it already. So an announcement on Greenwood's future is now a matter of days. It depends on Manchester United, completely says Fabrizio. So I don't know. The thing is with Greenwood, and I'm gonna put it out to you guys. And let me just put that up. So I'm gonna put this out to you guys. First and foremost, if Manchester United decide and call Mason Greenwood right now and say, Mason, can you be in tomorrow, 9 o'clock in the morning, first thing, training? And he says yes. And everybody's okay with it. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 months of constant training for him to be anywhere near match fit. It really is. And he will not have the match sharpness. Secondly, when he goes out onto the pitch, be it at home, he will be booed by the fans. If it's away, the abuse that guy is going to get is going to be absolutely horrific. It's going to drag United into a real mess. If you want my opinions on it, I'm conflicted. Like, I don't want to see Mason Greenwood playing for this team right now. I really don't. I don't think we need that distraction. I don't think he needs it. I think a loan is a pragmatic solution to kicking the problem down the road, but I think United need to do something. So it's either bring him back or get rid of him. That's where I stand. I don't know. Big T says Southgate is too defensive minded. We get teams on the ropes and he sends our players to go sit in the stool instead of finishing them. Yeah, it's always struck me as that one. Ura says, I believe you've seen Onana so far. Is he going to be a success? I think he will be. That's my opinion. Anthony as well, good to see you. Hello to you, man. Andrew says Southgate is a manager for the youth. No experience in the seniors. You can see it in big matches. He loses the plot easily. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of screams like, I don't know, watching England, it always seems to be really easy friendly matches and really easy qualifying matches against Andorra, Malta, San Marino, Macedonia, and teams like that. Then, like the group stage at the big tournaments, it's always pretty rigged. It's always set up for the big teams to qualify. And then it's kind of like, what happens after that? Like, where do we go after that? So, I know, I think it's been like, in the first World Cup, it was Croatia put them out semi-finals. Then it was France put them out in the last World Cup. Then it was Italy beat them in the final of the Euro. So I don't think there's a big record for Southgate really getting it right against the big teams. William says, would be better to keep Greenwood. He's a great player, but trust me, the outcome will be to send him on loan. We're going to find out what's going to happen. It's completely out of our hands. I wouldn't mind fan consultation on this, but I don't think we're ever getting there. I really don't. Andrew says the boy will be a natural talent. He'll be booed out when he scores and gets cheered on. With it, stop procrastinating his career. I mean, yeah. Look, I was watching United stand earlier, and I think they made a really good point. People sometimes disagree with what Mark Goldberg says, but he said there wouldn't be this fuss if Greenwood wasn't a good player. If Greenwood was crap, people would unanimously want him out. And I do think that definitely comes into it. I think if he was a bad player, he would already have been released by United. I think they'll look at him and look at the value attached to him as to how good he might be if he ever gets back to playing football. I don't know what's going to happen. I wish United would make a decisive decision. It's been going on for 18 months at this stage. I just want this saga done with. We don't need this distraction. Ten Hag does not need this distraction, in my opinion. Era says, do we see Anthony and Sancho raise their performance level because they're flattered to deceive? In my opinion, I think they will. I really do think they will. I would say Anthony had a much better season than Sancho last year. I think Sancho has looked sharp in pre-season. Let's find out what happens. Big T says, in the UK, it's innocent until proven guilty. Do you agree with that, or do you think it needs changing? I mean, that's the law of the land. We can't really go out and go changing that, you know. But this has never been a criminal investigation. That was handled by CPS. CPS charges were dropped because a key witness dropped out of the actual proceedings, and then they dropped the case altogether. This is a Manchester United investigation, whether they think it's right for Greenwood to come back to the team or not. So we're going to find out what happens. I want to get on with it. I think we have really, really pushed this out too far. Even if they choose to loan him, we're sitting in August. He hasn't trained at all. Nobody's going to take him on loan. It's just not going to happen. So I feel like this is another bot situation at United. I feel like what they've done is what I've suspected them doing a long time, and that is hoping that the sale would have been done by now, so somebody else would have to take care of it. That this would be either the Qataris' problem or it could be Radcliffe's problem. That's what I think this screams of. I wish they would have been decisive at the start. I really do. I really do. And they just haven't done that. In terms of the poll, 105 votes on that. So 28% of you guys are saying you'd rather sell Fred. 35% say they would rather sell Van de Beek. And 37% coming out on top, it's Scott McTominay. I'm So Fresh says, goes on for so long, I think we can all agree, might have ruined a young man's life, all because of the fame football creates. Yeah, look, things like this, it seems to happen in football. It seems to be happening increasingly in football. And it isn't just Mason Greenwood. There are players across Europe from all ages, from young players right up to guys who are pushing for it. It does seem to be a football issue. It does seem to be a fame issue. And I think it's kind of the culture that football creates. These guys are held up on a pedestal, but they are still just normal humans. You will have good footballers are good people. You'll have footballers who are bad people. That's just the way it goes. King Stash said Sancho had more goals and assists than Anthony last season. I don't think he had more goals. He might have had more assists, but I think Anthony's performances, I still think they're good. And I think when we look at all things considered for first season, I think Anthony still had a good campaign. I don't think it's perfect. I think both have a massive job on their hands to really stake a claim in this first team, and they need to be a lot better this window. I think they need to be so much better going into this season. I hope they can. I hope they prove me wrong. Let's see what's going to happen. Andrew thinks Greenwood's going to end up in Saudi. Might happen. Era says, do you think United can challenge for major trophies? Yes, we can challenge. Make no mistake about it. I don't expect us to win. I would love us to win, but I think looking at the teams around us, I don't think we're as good as City. I think Arsenal could still be ahead of us. Liverpool could get back to that top level as well. It's going to be a hard season. It is. United have improved. Let's find out if we've improved enough. Let's find out if we are going to be a serious club in this upcoming year. Mark says, great news for Hannibal. Yeah, it is a good news for him. I'm really happy with that because Premier League football every week, playing for Luton Town, it's going to suit him down to the ground. It's going to get him plenty of matches. Andrew says, what Sancho plays at 10 this season will make a big improvement. He might do. He might do. We will see. We will see what happens. I don't expect us to really play with a number 10 a lot this season. We've kind of been lining up more of a 4-3-3. Let's see where it's going to go. Stephanie says, let's hope Sancho and Anthony fire this season. Exactly. Like, I don't pick sides. I really don't. And I will say this. If one of them has a brilliant season, that's better for United. If both of them have a better season, a brilliant season, that's better for United. What I don't want is for them both to be crap, or I don't want them both to be average. That's what we want. I want all our players playing as good as possible, and that's only going to be better for us. So I'm not picking sides. I'm not going to be player FC. I just want United to do well on the pitch. That's what I want. Big T says, it's a generational thing. Example, Giggs is celebrated as a legend by fans, even knowing what he does off the pitch. It's another good point. That is another good point. Andrew says, show me one player beside Bruno who can turn with the ball like Sancho and take a player on and change the shape of a game. He does have a unique skill set. He does. It's just going to be, how do we get it out of him? Where does he play in this team? That's what Erik ten Hag's trying to figure out. I think some of them can. I think Mount is very good on half turn, very good at turning into space and getting his head up. Look, he's not going to be a Bruno making 20 assists or scoring 15 goals, but he will be a big addition to the team. Stephanie wants a top three trophy, a trophy and quarterfinals of UCL minimum. That's what I think's good. I'm agreeing with Big T, a 6 with team number 8. I think that's how we're going to line up. I think Casemiro, Mount, Bruno, that's going to be first choice. And then Eriksen will fit in there as well. Sancho will be used, IMO, as a sling 9 and 10. He might do. I think he will be used on the right. I think he'll be used on the left. I think we have options, and that's really good for Manchester United. Been a long time since we could say that, and I'm glad about that. Any more thoughts, guys? Make sure to get them in down below. In terms of the poll, 27% of you guys would sell Fred, 36 would sell Donny, and 37 would sell McTominay. So McTominay was almost 50% at one point, and then a lot of people have decided Van de Beek should be sold as well. So I think we should sell all of them. I really do. But let's see what's going to happen. Going to be interesting. Let me see, anything else coming in? Don't see too much new. If you guys have any more questions or any more comments, fire them in below. Drop a like on the video, guys. We're up to 44. Can we get 50 likes? Can we get 6 more likes on the video? There's 61 people in here. Let's see those likes go up. Would be much appreciated, guys. Irva says, do you think we need another centre-back? Varane is not far from getting injured. It's a good point. Personally, I think we can survive. I think Lindelof will be a good cover, can play right centre-back and left centre-back. But long-term, I think we need to look beyond Varane. I really do. And I think the way we do that is Antonio Silva. The way we do that is Diamond from Sporting Lisbon. I think one of those two are the right age where they'll come in and make a big difference. And William is looking all 3 to go. I would agree with that. Kerwin is saying the choice is to keep Greenwood. Maybe we should start by playing him at home in the Champions League. Just allow to see people out there and realize he's a kid that made a mistake. Big T says Stephanie in and out more than a leg in the Okie Cookie. Absolutely. Stephanie's all about it. Stephanie knows how much likes there is on the video. So yeah, guys, up to 45. Can we get 5 likes from 63 people? Let's see. Would be very, very much appreciated, guys. Really, really would. Gonna have one more check here as well. Don't really think there's too much else coming out at the moment about United. We've odds on FPL, I guess. If any of you guys do follow Paddy, he is teasing Sofayn Amrabat. Sometimes he gets information. Andrew says Glass Baby 2.0 Varane. Yeah, brilliant player, but he can be made of glass. He does need to be managed. So I hope we do well. I think we did well last season to manage him through injuries. Let's see us do it again. And look, it's going to give Lindelof matches. Maguire probably will play as well, unfortunately, guys, because he will still be here. Not too much we can do as well. Ura says, what season is Garnacho likely to have if he stays fit? It's a good point. We don't know, and I will say this. It's very hard to predict how a young player is going to play. They're always going to have inconsistencies in their game. There really are. He's still a teenager. I still think he's going to improve this year. I think in all competitions, if he can aim for 7 or 8 goals, maybe upwards to 10. If he hits 10, that is a brilliant season from Garnacho. Let's find out how much he's going to play. I think he's going to be a big player for this year. I expect him to start more. I think we're going to see a lot of him off the bench as well, simply because he's so good off the bench. You know, when teams are tired at about 60 minutes and Garnacho comes on and just runs and runs and runs at them, that makes a big difference. It really does, guys. Drop a like on the video as well, guys. I'm going to drop off here as well. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes, so thank you so much for joining in at the later time. Really, really do appreciate everyone hopping in. So we'll be back same time tomorrow, 7:30. So slightly later start today because there was some family members came over. Thank you very much for joining in with us, guys. Let's hope we get some more news on Amrabat, on the Seals, and maybe even on this big United Takeover as well. Have a good Friday, guys. I will see you all tomorrow, 7:30, normal time. Thank you all very much for joining in, and goodbye. Good night, guys. Have a good one.